Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, out and about again in the van with another view from the van. It is a match day, well, pre-season match day, as we go down to that club that the Mackhams are pretty fixated on. Burton Albion, and we go down there for, I think it's a 7:45 kick-off this evening. So, yeah, the pre-season preparations, I'd like to be able to say are ramping up or ramping to a conclusion, but on the basis of going to that Rotherham game the last time out, fuck me, it was an absolute shit show, but I'll get to that in a minute. Tonight's game, we've got some players who are returning, that's welcome. We've also got a few players who are still not, which is a major concern. It's always the players that you want. We know that we need to be able to do well, in the word, stay up, that seem to be the ones that are fucking missing. It's so frustrating being a Newcastle United fan at the best of times, but at the moment, fuck me man, if I had hair I'd pull the bastard out. But team news for this evening, and there's rumours doing the rounds about a certain Alan St. Maximin that he's been pinged by this bloody app that's just about pinging everybody, I think it seems these days, and he's had to go for a test, and we'll find out next week whether it's whether he's positive or whether he can return to training. But Alan St. Maximin misses out again tonight. Now bearing in mind, he was involved against York to a certain degree. He had a very good run out against Doncaster, where he was taking the piss, running the show, pure entertainment value for that game. But he wasn't available for the match at Rotherham, and fucking boy did he show. And he's not going to be available this evening, I'm afraid to say. He misses out. The club are saying that he's got an illness. They're not specifying anything. There's conspiracy theory people on about transfers to Everton, transfers to Aston Villa for £60-65 million, but surely to God, not even Mike Ashley and Lee Charnley, as off their tits as they fucking are, as stupid as they are, as pure retarded as they are, they would not sanction that transfer deal, given the shit that Newcastle fans are already having to put up with. They do not want a fucking literally physical riot. So I just can't. It doesn't compute. I will be absolutely gobsmacked if the club sells St. Maximin. I really will. They go with the illness line, so we will see. He's got to be involved in the match against Norwich next weekend, which does have a little bit of a question mark about it, because they've got a COVID situation at the moment. They're cancelling friendlies, but he's got to be involved in that match, I think, personally, if he's to stand any chance of getting through the 90 minutes against West Ham in the opening game of the season. And let's face it, we need a good start of the season, because our fixtures towards the end, fucking hell, if they don't make your butt cheeks tighten up, I don't know what fucking does. We can't be doing what we did there last season, where we had a game at the end of the season to give us a nice little 6-point boost and knock us from 17th up to 12th. We're not going to be doing that, let me tell you that. So we need points on the board early doors. We need our better players back. Speaking of which, Miguel Miron, we've seen him training over the Rafael Nadal facility over in Spain. He's doing a bit of warm weather training in preparation for the new season. Obviously he was afforded a little bit of extra time due to his international travel, due to the fact he picked up an injury whilst he was abroad in the Copa America playing for his national side, so he has been given a little bit more time off. He is back this weekend. He's back in the North East this weekend. Now, that is huge. I know possibly people don't think he is as important as Alan St. Maximin, but in my eyes he most definitely is, for his work rate, his commitment, his passion, his chasing up things down, his versatility, his energy, everything. Because, and I've said this before, when Newcastle score goals, if you look at it and break it down, more often than not, somewhere that lad is involved in it, whether he's won a free kick, whether he's won a corner, whether he's scored himself, whether he's made an assist himself, he is always balls deep in any Newcastle United goal. And I think we do positive seems to have to go through him, in some certain way. So I am more than happy that he's going to be back again. I know he's played internationally, and I know he's been keeping his fitness up over in Spain, but we need him back to be able to see him in a black and white shirt. He needs a little bit of game time. I would like to say with some of these new signings that we were going to be made, but I'll get to that in a fucking minute because that's a joke. But he needs to be played with his Newcastle teammates and get a little bit of that ring rust off, and just sort of get the swing of things and the feel of things before the big kick-off against West Ham, where we have to hit the ground running. Let's face it. That's going to be no walk in the ground as well, let me tell you that. That West Ham game coming up, fucking hell, absolutely smashed Celtic they did recently. But yeah, so Miggy's back this weekend, Alan Saint-Maximin hopefully back next weekend for Norwich. Fingers crossed. Literally, we need those two back. We really do. We're up shit creek without them doing, possibly Wilson as well. Wilson, he'll be involved. He'll be involved tonight. You've also got the likes of Fabian Schär, they're all back. Joe Linton, now he's been pictured in training all week, and he was back in training just before the Rotherham game, but I think the erred on the side of caution, didn't want to risk it with the lad, so I'd imagine he would be involved tonight. My gut feeling is you'd probably put him on the bench and bring him off, and then have him more involved maybe against Norwich at St James's next week. But I know I made my feelings on Joe Linton perfectly clear. I don't think he cuts the mustard. He's certainly not a striker, but he's another body, he's another option, and we simply haven't got the bodies in. Because congratulations Lee Charnley, you worthless piece of shit. I'm honestly, this man boils my piss. He gets away with stuff so much. But I tell you something, not even Mrs. Charnley, not even Mama Charnley can stand this man. He is literally the definition of oxygen thief. He's the most useless bastard in the entire club. He wears slip-on shoes because he can't tie his own fucking laces. He can't tell the time. He can't do anything. I wouldn't put this man in charge of ordering the fucking paper for the photocopier. He's that fucking useless. Lee Charnley, can anybody tell me what this absolute fucking galah does on a day-to-day basis to justify any salary whatsoever? Fuck me. What is he doing? He is supposed to be the eyes and the ears, etc., of a certain Mike Ashley at the club day to day. What does he do? What's he overseen? Balls my piss every single time, because this man has never had a chant against him. He's never had protests against him, banners against him, nothing. But I'm telling you something, he is just as guilty, if not slightly more guilty, than Mike Ashley, because Mike Ashley has openly said, I don't want to be, I don't want anything to do with Newcastle United. I want rid. I want my money and I want to go. Lee Charnley comes out, I'm a Newcastle supporter, me. Oh, yeah. Comes out, I want to talk to the fans more, me. Talks shit. He absolutely and utterly is a cock womble. It is as simple as that. And he gets away with it. This is the man who has to go and do the deals and sign the deals off. And what has Newcastle done this so far this summer? Well, we've become the only Premier League team, the only one who hasn't filed their accounts. Something to hide, have we, Mr. Charnley? Something to fucking hide, clearly. Yes, after Crystal Palace filed their accounts, we are the only club who hasn't done what we should be doing legally, and we wonder why we get into trouble with a fucking taxman left, right and centre. Fuck me. If I can get my tax return in on time, then surely a company with all of those millions of pounds worth of assets and cash and etc. can get their fucking accounts in as well. But no, Newcastle are the only club not to do that. And something else that we also haven't done, and this is what I mean, like, You think it's shit? Do you need a post-it note leaving on top of your desk in front of the pitch? Sign some fucking players, Lee, you lazy bastard. We're the only Premier League club now that Chelsea have completed a deal. Like, they needed desperately new players, of course. But we are the only club now in the Premier League who hasn't made a first team signing yet. The season kicks off in under 2 weeks. And we haven't signed a single fucking player. So we are weaker than we were last season because we've lost Andy Carroll. Because, and again, I don't think he's the world's greatest striker, but it's a body that we are down. We've lost Andy Carroll, and most importantly, we have lost Joe Willock. Now, the goals that lad scored in the run that he came in a position that we have been shite at since probably Johan Cabaye left, kept us in the fucking league. Simple as fact. Nobody can argue it. So to say, well, we've still got this, that, I don't give a shit. We are weaker now than last season. Everybody else has got better. Brentford have splashed some cash. Watford. Every fucker else. Fuck me. Fulham down in the Championship are splashing the cash. But we haven't got a pot to fucking piss in. And it boils my piss. Because yes, we fucking do. If all these other clubs can find cash, then Newcastle can. Now, whether that's getting an overdraft, whether that's getting, I don't care. I've heard people say, you don't want to do what Sunderland did and get loaded with debt and this, that, and then go down. Well, do you want to go down? Because if we don't spend and we don't sign and we don't strengthen, we don't bring some players in to get a decent squad, then we are going to go down. And thanks to the mismanagement from Mike Ashley on previous relegations, we do have debt. We do have debt owed to Mike Ashley. And why have we got that debt? Because he had to prop the club up when it went down through his own mismanagement. It's his own fault that there's fucking debt. It's, again, not the fault of any Newcastle United supporter, but once again, Newcastle United supporters are bearing the brunt of previous bad decisions. And it's beyond a fucking joke. Joe Willock, if you finance that deal, however Charlie wants to finance it, overdraft, whether he wants to loan the money on our future TV deals, which a lot of other clubs have done, fine. Because to me, if you sign Joe Willock for 20 million, which is the reported fee, so say it's 20 million, right? And you agree to pay it off over 4 or 5 seasons, right? A couple of million per season for a lad who either A, would get, in my opinion, a massive resale on. If we were then to sell Joe Willock and he continues his development as it is, they're talking 60 million for St. Maximin. So English, homegrown, scoring goals from midfield like no fucker else, there'd be a huge profit, right? Secondly, if he stays, and I would pray that he does, because we want to keep good quality players, good goal scoring players, potentially our best midfielder since Johan Cabaye. If he's to stay, he's only early 20s, he'll do you 10, 11, 12 years. So paying for him over 4, 5 years or whatever, and a few million a season, is an absolute no-brainer. But again, this is what I mean, there's no joined up thinking. I'm surprised he probably hasn't got his fucking he probably hasn't even got his fucking pen license from school. He can't do joined up writing, never mind bastard joined up thinking. The pure piss flap is ruining this club. And penny pinching, you cannot do it. You are operating in luxury. You are operating in an environment of cash rich and cash frivolous in the Premier League. Yet you are trying to run it like the discount shop model. You are trying to run it like a one below at pound shop. It doesn't fucking work. The value is this. Pay the money. Whether you've got to do it over 4 or 5 seasons, it's irrelevant. It is fucking irrelevant, really, at this point. For those who are saying, well, go down with debt. I'd rather go down swinging, lads. I'd rather go down swinging every day of the fucking week than to go down in this pathetic manner like we're doing at the moment, sitting there going, well, can we rate the under-18s for somebody, or where's the next under-23? There is no fucker. There's no fucker. Bobby Clark's fucking off to Liverpool. We're losing our better young players. Elliot Anderson, he's out. But if you think that Elliot Anderson can walk into the Newcastle team at his age, with his experience, and solve all our problems, you're off your tits. The lad needs to be nurtured. He needs to have a few loan moves. The club is in such a fucking clusterfuck state. They're going to be loaning Matty Longstaff out probably to Derby County. And that'll be a great move. He'll get plenty of game now. They've already got about fucking 9 players available to him. Sean Longstaff's come back and he's saying he's in the best condition ever. I heard this last season. What we need is we need to see performances on the pitch. And yeah, he's been alright in pre-season from what I've seen, but not great. He's no Joe Willock. He's not going to score you all those goals. So it comes back to doing whatever is necessary, and I don't care. Takeover. Can't do anything when they take. Fuck me, if you're selling your house and then all of a sudden the front end of the house falls down, you are going to have to repair it before the sale goes through. Tough tits. It really is tough titty at this point. So you know what I mean? It's beyond a joke. It's beyond a parody. I know Mike Ashley hates us, but fuck me, there's £300 million riding on it. And I'm not going into the takeover shenanigans, but at the end of the day, Ashley is the current custodian. Pull your finger out your ass, get the checkbook out, get some fucking money spent, get this squad strengthened. We need at least Joe Willock to come back in. There's talks about defender, the lad from Manchester United. Looks decent. I remember seeing him in the Champions League. I think it was last season before. I remember seeing him in the Champions League, and I think he was playing against the French team or something like that. Anyway, looked decent from what I've seen. He obviously played against Newcastle as well, didn't he? So as another option, I've said for a long time we need a younger defender coming in, like what we did with Lascelles all those years back, where we brought him in, we loaned him out, and then we gradually again nurtured him into the first team picture at Newcastle. We need a young defender coming in and coming up. We need Joe Willock. I'd argue we probably need some more reinforcements in the middle, because we are woeful in the middle of the park. We really are. If people are saying John Joe Shelby's the answer, what's the question? Overrated, overpaid, overhyped, doesn't deliver enough goals, won't put a tackle in, one trick put. I don't know. It's time to get real at Newcastle United. The alarm bells should be literally ringing all around St James's Park, all away at the training ground. And of course, whilst this is going on, the media don't pick up on it. But if something like this happened to Manchester United, a Liverpool, anybody else, a Spurs, it would literally be the biggest story on Sky Sports News. But because it's Newcastle and it fits the agenda, and it's just great and fun just to take the piss and to keep us pushed down, then it's just not. But you can sense my frustration going into the new season, and then all you get out of the club is buy this shirt, buy this ticket, buy this shirt, and that's all you get. And no doubt about it, I think the away shirt looks really, really smart. But when it's like 20%, 25% above what a Wolves one is for a comparable item, and what have we got to show for it? Where's the investment? Where's the money coming into the club? Where's the hopes? Where's the aspirations? Where is the it's going to get better? So it needs to get better, and it needs to get better really, really quickly. And I'm hoping, see, for the fans going down tonight, I've been at obviously all the pre-seasons up till now. I'm taking the kids away for a few days, and so you know what I mean. And they won't be at the match tonight, but I'll be doing a reaction. All the normal stuff will still be on, as well as we can. But I just hope that the away fans who are travelling down there again in numbers, like we've done for the previous 2 games, are entertained. They put a performance on for them. But again, there's going to be no St Maximin. There's going to be no Mickey. And that straight away, that takes away 99% of our creativity, positivity, and you get into a situation like in the last game. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? We've got like an 18-year-old and Jeff Hendrick up top. Yet, according to Steve Bruce, who must be off his tits, or Mrs. Bruce is putting something in that apple pie. We're okay up top. We're absolutely fine. We've let Sorensen go. He's gone back to ply his trade at a lower level abroad. So that's fine and probably to be expected. But where are the options at? When you're playing players out of position and scraping draws against Rotherham, we were fucking dog shit for 95% of that game, let me tell you. It started off shite for me personally because they'd messed up my ticket in Newcastle, so I was like shifted and put into an emergency signal at the fucking end. Couldn't believe it. But the football on show was absolutely fucking dog shite. It was boring. We scraped a draw. It was embarrassing. And Steve Bruce coming out with more waffle shit. I literally have to turn my ears off now to that man because he literally chats so much shit. A majority of this. You are not. You're an absolute fraud, because if you were, you would be doing what you said previous months. My job is to knock that door down and to bash on that door and to get everything that I can. And then all of a sudden he's just, well, I'll be happy if I can get this or that, and COVID and every excuse. Literally, it's like Pardew's excuse bingo or his excuse book on steroids. What Steve Bruce is doing, it really is. And I'm sick and tired of listening to the bollocks. It's like if I was interviewing, I'd be like, shut up, you absolute fucking muppet. No, not an excuse. No, not having it. Next. You know, yes, revenues are down, but other clubs are finding their way. Other clubs are making it possibilities. Us, well, we'll have to wait for the big boys. Oh, the big boys. Fuck me, what do you sound like, man? Newcastle United is a massive football club. We shouldn't be sitting there like Oliver fucking Twist with our fucking ball out. Please, can we have some? Embarrassing. Really, really is embarrassing. It's pathetic. And it just goes to prove the point that we've said all along, that Steve Bruce is a bastard puppet. I wish someone had cut his fucking strings, I know that. Fucking sick of this. Only positive at the club at the time being, he's in his final 12 months of his contract. And I'm telling you now, not even a man off your tits, drunk, whatever, no man on this earth would give Steve Bruce another minute managing our football club. Your only worry comes when you get linked to the likes of John Terry as the next manager with no experience. You know what I mean? It's shocking. On the anniversary of the day that back in 1996 we broke the world transfer fee for Alan Shearer to bring him home. On that anniversary, we're talking about an untried John Terry as the next Newcastle United manager. We're talking about no money, not a pot to piss in. We're talking about no new signings. We're talking about tens of thousands of empty seats at St James's Park. The club is in a clusterfuck position. It really, really is. And for all those people, well, the takeover could still go through. It won't. It won't. It'll be the end of this season coming up at the earliest. And that's if they are willing to stick the course out. Because, yeah, we've got the emotional attachment. I've been thinking for 14 years, oh, he'll be gone. 14 years has passed. The cunt's still here. He's still the custodian of Newcastle United, despite the fact he's put the keys in an envelope and posted it through the fucking letterbox. He doesn't give a shit. Doesn't absolutely give a shit. But the takeover is so far on the back burner, it's unbelievable. Cat case not back till next month to start to see whether there's jurisdiction. So even then, people are, well, September. That's just to see whether they can proceed with it, whether they're allowed. It's unbelievable. It really is. The club is in a mess. I just hope and pray that we can get Joe Will again. We can sign the centre back. And after that, we're going to need at least another midfielder. And I would say back up for Callum Wilson, because any injury to that lad and we're up shit creek. If you are including Miguel Almiron, Alan St. Maximin, Joe Linton and Dwight Gale as his possible stand-ins if he's not available, you're off your tits. I love some of them players, but they are not strikers. They are not strikers. And can I just say, on the Dwight Gale one, touching on him finally at the end, he has been absolutely shocking since he came back. 1 goal he scored, continuously injured, doesn't look interested. I don't know why they've given him an extra contract, apart from the fact he's already here and he'll be cheap. But he looks so disinterested. And even against the Rotherham game, he just looked out of his depth against Rotherham. With the greatest of respect to Rotherham, a fantastic stadium. I've actually said I've managed down there myself. I've managed teams at the New York Stadium myself previously, youth teams and stuff like that. Fantastic setup, fantastic stadium, great folk, friendly staff. But Dwight Gale looked out of his depth there. He's snatching at shots, he's pulling them wide, and all they said, Dwight Gale will score goal. I haven't seen much evidence of that, and I hope I'm proved wrong. I really would like Dwight Gale. He seems like a lovely character and a nice lad, a family man, and it seems, but he just doesn't seem to have the mojo anymore. Tell me if I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. Has Dwight Gale lost his goal scoring mojo? Let me know down below in the comments. What do you think the score's going to be tonight? You've got to think it's going to be a Newcastle United win, surely. And they've been pretty close this pre-season, to be fair. Been pretty good, out by maybe a goal or so. So tonight, we've got obviously senior keepers and stuff back in. It's the fight between Woodman and Gillespie to who starts the season. But yeah, I'd hope the Newcastle fans will be entertained. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 and give the fans a little bit of something. When your highlight of a game is a SpongeBob inflatable getting bashed about in the concourses prior to the game, that tells you that there's problems on the pitch. It really, really does. We need better than what happened last time. Bruce will come up and say, well, the result isn't important and blah blah, but the performance isn't. It's about minutes, and you're like, bullshit. Get some performances, get some confidence going, because we have to hit the ground running against West Ham, and we need points on the board early doors. We really, really do. It's a must. It really is. So yeah, hopefully at least a few goals. I said 2-0. I'd be more than happy with a 3 or 4-0. That would be fantastic. Safe journey down to all the Newcastle fans in the thousands again travelling down to watch the Burton game. Fingers crossed we get something on the transfer front really shortly. Again, a few links here and there, but not much sense of action. Lee Charney, pull your finger out your ass. Do something for the first time in goodness knows how fucking long. I'm going to get back to some graft. Take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.